Hi there, folks. We are Travel with Johnny and Will. We are still on Azamara Pursuit, and this is our day 6 vlog. Today we are docked in the port of Mahon, I think it's pronounced, and that's in the Balearic Island of Minorca.
So I was up early this morning at 7:30. I was getting what was called a pro-collagen treatment, facial and a shave. And there was also meant to be a haircut, but that part didn't happen. Basically, I went for this because on the first day I received a $100 voucher for the spa. And again, this is what we were saying about these deals that they're giving you. It's not $100 to spend on anything within the spa. So, say you went for like a manicure and then like a hand massage or something, and that came to $80. You couldn't use your $100 off that. It had to be off what they called a signature treatment. So in order for me to receive the $100 off, I had to go for the signature shave, which had the pro collagen, and I had the haircut. Now I didn't need the haircut, so I didn't receive that part of it, but it was a bit of a joke because all that came to $149, and I really only got the package at $129, which was the pro collagen without the haircut.
But you couldn't book the 129
No, I
treatment
couldn't book because that
because it
wasn't that signature treatment.
Yeah.
Although in saying that, it was a very nice shave and it was a nice experience, and I would do it again. But just bear that in mind, when they're giving you something for free, you're usually still going to have to put some of your own money in.
Yeah. So yeah, when we welcome back to the cabin, we got ready to head up to, head down to the Discoveries restaurant for breakfast. This is the first time we've tried main dining room for breakfast. Normally because we haven't been up that early to go. So we just thought it was different to sit down and to be waited on to have breakfast, which is sometimes quite nice. And it was.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I got the fruit and...
You had fruit and cereal, and then you did have a wee selection of cooked items. I had a full English after my birch and muesli, but it was nice just to sort of kick back and relax.
Yeah, and the service was really good again, so yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. We then came back to the cabin, first of all, just to chill for a bit. We were still at sea until lunchtime, so we just thought we would take the benefit and just sort of, chill. It was lovely outside, just sit in the balcony for a while. And then I actually started putting things into the case as well.
So we had an early lunch up again on deck 9 at Windows Cafe. Again, I wasn't really feeling the lunch this time for some reason. I only had a little bit of rice and chicken, but I think I was just still sort of feeling slightly off from the day before with the sea sickness and stuff.
Yeah, I think we're day 6 now into the cruise, and one thing to say about the food is it has been like really tasty. But like I was talking to another passenger today, because obviously we're recording this the day after, and she was sort of saying the same thing to me, is that now we kind of just want something but more blander.
Yeah.
And more plainer, because we've had so much rich food, for 6 days now. That's probably not a bad complaint to have, but yeah. But I enjoyed, like I had a salad at lunchtime, and then I had a little bit of rice and chicken too, which was...
No, like definitely like the food offering within the buffet, there's so much variety. I'm just being very picky and very, just not quite feeling myself, so I just really wasn't sure what to eat.
So after our lunch, we headed down to the Mosaic Cafe, just to grab a couple of coffees and that. The shops were open on board, just because we were still at sea. So we nipped across, because the night before we didn't see any ship models, and we love, anytime that we're on a new ship, we love to try and get a ship model to bring home. So we were sitting having our coffee, and we spied them sitting. So we made a quick dash to grab one of those before heading back to the cabin to get ready then to go ashore.
So we got off the ship to explore Mahon in Minorca. Unfortunately, it was a Sunday here, so there wasn't that much open apart from a few restaurants right at the port building. So we decided to take a little walk just down along the coast. I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah, there's a little coast road. We did spot a glass bottom boat, and we thought, oh, that'd be good, but again, it was Sunday, so they weren't open, which was sort of a bit like, well, did you not know there was going to be a cruise ship in? Could you have had one ship on and maybe went out two excursions? But
They obviously know that maybe they don't. There's
Yeah.
obviously a reason why they're closed.
Yeah.
They don't close just to miss money or miss an opportunity.
But it was a very pleasant, sort of tranquil little place, and it was just nice to get out to go for a little dander.
Yeah, on the way back to the ship then we had sort of spied like this sort of glass fronted elevator which takes you up into the historical city centre of Mahon. But so we went up just to sort of see if there was anything more that the sort of the city centre had to offer. Again, it was like a ghost town.
Yeah, it was.
Because obviously everywhere is shut on the Sunday, and it was like a ghost town. So we had a bit of a dander around and then just sort of headed back to the ship. And when we got back, we went straight upstairs to the living room, which is on deck 10 at the front of the ship. And it's sort of like a bar lounge area, and with like spectacular views. And obviously it was a very bright sunny day. And there was a quiz then had started at 3 o'clock. And was it 3 o'clock or 4 maybe?
No, it was 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it was just a sort of general knowledge sort of trivia. And although some of the questions were very
Really
strange,
random.
yeah. But also they have little tapas, and they had a few little sandwiches and things.
Yes.
And scones. Because we actually, on the way back to the ship...
I was saying to you, I said, I'm missing afternoon tea. And then you had said, no, it's not British Cruise Lines, so therefore there's not going to be that offering.
Yeah.
But when we got up to the living room, they had scones and cream and jam. So that was great.
Yeah, because like sometimes, like I've been in America and like they would call like a scone, it's like more like a
Biscuit or something, yeah.
So, but yeah, they had Fritz scones, so yeah, we had to have one.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, then we just headed back to the cabin. We tried to get a few bits and pieces sorted in our cabin, because obviously tomorrow is our last day, which isn't great. But yeah, we went back and then we just got ready then for White Night.
So on Azamara, they do White Night a little bit differently to the other cruise lines. It starts at 6 p.m. It's on the pool deck, and it's basically a buffet restaurant on the pool deck.
Yeah.
So no sun loungers, all the tables brought out, tablecloths, all what you'd expect within Windows Cafe, all brought out to the pool deck. And then, how do they do the food then?
So at one side of the pool deck, they had literally sort of like barbecued food and sort of other dishes, basically from around the world. It's the only way to explain it. And the food is all served by a lot of the officers, as well as the kitchen staff. Which
it was weird, but it was sort of
weird,
nice
but it was
as well.
nice. Yeah,
just give you a bit of an opportunity to maybe interact with them a bit more, whereas they're not normally out. And
there was so much food. There's literally, they could have probably fed the whole world with the food.
I know, yeah.
And then at the other side then of the pool deck, basically you had all the desserts. And again, there was a mountain of desserts to pick from. I think it was the hotel services director who was then like skipping out gelato to everybody, and she seemed to be having a great time with that gelato. And but yeah, so the food was immense. There was so much of it, and it was so flavoursome, and really you were spoiled for choice.
And it seemed like all the passengers came out to this event, because all of the seats on the sort of Lido or deck 9 right adjacent to the pool had been taken up, and we were sort of on the deck that overlooks into the pool, deck 10, looking down. Now there was tables set up there, but again, I was very surprised because I thought, oh, if we sit up here, we're not going to get the same service, but that was not true at all. Like, there was still staff up there, still waiters, drinks, everything was still being provided, so it was great.
Yeah. It's worth saying that one of the specialty restaurants was closed last night, and I think the only other restaurant was open was Discovery's. Yeah, Discoveries was open last night if you wanted to eat, if you didn't want to come out. But it did seem that most people
Definitely.
came to White Night, which was lovely to see, and actually really nice to see that so many people really fulfilled the full quotation of the memo in terms of wearing white clothes.
Well, there was a few black sheep, but that
Yes.
was probably in the 3 to 5%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody was all donned in their white gear. It was really, really pretty. And again, early in that afternoon, we sort of watched some of the staff setting up, and you've got sort of nice lights across the pool. They put little bunting, out, little
Buntings,
white
yeah.
bunting. They had a huge big banner up for White Night as well, as all the tables now being trailed out too. There was such a lot of work put into that, which I think,
Yeah, like even if you just think of the seats that we were sitting on were dragged from the living room, they were proper like upholstered seats. They
Yeah.
weren't just like pool seats.
Yeah.
So it was it was a lot of work for
Yeah.
the crew.
Yeah.
But they all seemed to enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. So during like I say, the food is served from about 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock, and during that time as well, DJ Bianca was playing, and then we had the party band, who are called Back on Tracks. I nearly forgot their name. Back on Tracks, they were playing as well. So you had people up dancing even early in the evening.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
as well, which was really, really nice to see.
So then at this point in the evening, the cruise director came onto the stage and introduced us to all the staff of the Azamara Pursuit. And this was quite amazing actually, because they came out on deck 10, crew from all areas within the ship, from the engine room to obviously on the bridge to
Spa
the laundry, spa staff, the engineers, the room stewards, everybody you could think of. So they did a massive lap of honour from deck 10, and they all had their individual flags from the countries that they were from, and it was just really nice to see them all out and about. And
It gave us a chance then really to really show our appreciation, and the band was playing music, and the crew came out and were very happy, and like they were really excited to be out, and and to present themselves to us all, and everybody was clapping and cheering and whistling and stamping their feet. It was really, really nice. At that point then, the master of the vessel, Captain Antonio, came on just to say a few words about his staff and basically how much he appreciated them, because obviously he may be the person responsible for everything that goes on the ship. However, it takes everybody in that sort of crew family to really pull together to really pull the cruise off, and it was nice to obviously hear his words of thanks then to his crew as well. So the party then continued, and what happened next was the onboard signature singers and dancers. They took to the floor, as well as the cruise director Martin and the assistant cruise director Nicholas, and basically they took it in turns nearly to perform a song, and then obviously the rest of the crew, the rest of the show team, so to speak, they all joined in maybe with harmonies or the chorus and dancing, and but they really kept that party going. In front of the stage.
The only thing I could criticize on that is it would have been nice if, say, the entertainment team of singers and dancers, of which there is 6, could have done like a wee group performance as well. The 3 girls did something together, but the boys all just sang on their own.
Yeah, but it was great.
Yeah,
and actually,
it was really good. But
the orchestra. The orchestra was there, and actually the drummer, he sang a couple of songs, and this, normally a drummer just sort of sits there and keeps the beat going, but it was actually good to hear him chanting out a few numbers.
Well, that was a wee bit more karaoke in my eyes, but
let's hear Will sing, will we? Basically, things were getting a bit chilly out on deck. Being up on deck 10,
we were given blankets. Everybody was given blankets.
Yeah.
Don't know where they stored all these blankets, but there was mountains of blankets as well.
So we decided then to come in for a nightcap, and we went into the living room, and we had our nightcap there before heading back to our cabin, just basically to call it a night.
If you liked this video, please consider giving us a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that bell so that you don't miss out on our day 7 video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Right.